Behind us is the MG ZS.
That's right, we have another ZS, but this isn't automatic.
We have a 1 litre 3-cylinder turbocharged engine with an automatic gearbox.
That's right, Michael. It's developed by SAIC in conjunction with GM.
The ZS starts from just under £12,500.
For that, you get a 1.5 litre petrol engine with a manual gearbox.
Prices start for the automatic at just over 16, and the model we have here, the exclusive, is just under 18.
You can also get the automatic in the Explore trim as well, but you can't get it in the Excite.
I'm going to be taking a look at the exterior.
Hold your horses, Michael. We've forgotten about the EV.
Oh yes, coming later this year.
Yeah. In autumn, we're going to be expecting to see an MG ZS EV, which has been dubbed EZS.
Now, information is a little thin on the ground, but it's expected to be one of the more affordable electric vehicles on the market and have a range between 150 and 200 miles.
That'll be really interesting to see, won't it?
It definitely will. Now, where were we? I'm going to be taking a look at the exterior styling.
I'll be looking at the interior, the practicality, the build quality and the functionality.
We'll then both be driving it, and then we'll bring you our verdict on whether or not this is the car for you.
If you like automotive news, the latest car reviews, why not subscribe to Planet Auto? If you hit the notification bell, that way you'll be notified every time we upload a video.
Thank you. At the front of the car you have sporty body lines, the signature MG grille that you now see on the MG3, this upmarket chrome surround. The plastic cladding along the bottom gives it an off-roady look, and saying that, it is actually capable off-road. We've been driving over muddy tracks and rocky shores, and it's taken it in its stride. Now, it is worth mentioning it is only available in two-wheel drive. At the front of the car you've got LED daytime running lights, automatic projection headlamps, front fogs, and you don't have front parking sensors, but to be honest you don't really need them. Coming to the side of the car you have the plastic cladding around the wheel arches and along the bottom that continues the off-roady look. 17-inch alloy wheels, you can choose from various different ones. Electrically operated door mirrors. You can't get keyless entry, but we do have remote central locking. The chrome surround around the window line gives it an executive feel because it also matches the roof bars. We don't have privacy glass, that would have been nice to see as an option. Coming to the back of the car, the plastic cladding continues. I like the chrome surround here. You have rear parking sensors, a reversing camera, LED high-level brake light, and don't forget 7-year warranty.
Stepping into the MG ZS. Well, it's quite easy, but if you're not Michael's build, when you'll blow away in the wind and you're more like a power lifter like my build, or maybe too many cheese boards, well, yeah, it can be a bit narrow, but it's not overly noticeable. So once in the seat though, it's a very comfortable place to be. It's more like a cockpit as well. I like the soft touch plastics on the dash, the stitching, this surround around the infotainment system as well. I also, as I mentioned in the previous ZS, I do like these. They give it something back from the classic MG range. Yes, there's hard plastics, you can't get away from it, and you've got faux leather. But I like the chrome surround, and this gearbox feels really good, and the steering wheel. It's very good for the money. Functionality wise, we've got all round electric windows, electrically operated door mirrors with indicators on them, media controls on the steering wheel as well as cruise control. You've got a fuel computer between the dials that shows stats like range. You've also got automatic headlamps on this model, touchscreen infotainment system, that's 8-inch, and it's rather funkily designed as well. It's quite intuitive to use. It's got a decent sound system, DAB radio, Apple CarPlay, Bluetooth. Below that you've got air conditioning, a USB socket, 12-volt socket. You've also got start stop. You've got your automatic gearbox with the manual modes if you push it right. Old school handbrake with hill hold assist. When it comes to practicality, I'm 6'3". As you can see, I've got a decent amount of headroom, and I've got a decent amount of legroom as well. And there's a decent amount of legroom for the passenger in the back as well, which is very good. Right, one thing I have noticed with this car is there's no reach adjustment on the steering wheel, but there is height. Now when it comes to the seats, they're very comfortable. They're manually operated, but you can get 4-way and 6-way adjustable seats too. When it comes to storage, well, decent sized door bins, storage point at the front where you could fit a pair of sunglasses. You've also got 2 cup holders in the centre as well. And there's another storage area just back here as well. And when it comes to the glove box, well, that's a decent size as well. Stepping into the ZS is nice and easy thanks to that raised ride height and the fact that the doors open nice and wide. Once back here, yeah, okay, realistically, you're not going to get 3 people comfortably in here. Shorter journeys, it'd be fine for 3 people, but 2 people would be very, very comfortable. One thing I would have liked to have seen is a pull-down armrest. But these faux leather seats are very comfortable, and I like the stitching as well, and you've got Isofix points on them as well. Now, the rest of the interior, you've got mat pockets on the back of the seats. Hard plastics, yes, there's quite a lot of them. I mean, the whole door card is pretty much hard plastic. But saying that, you've got a padded area on the front and you've got a bit where you can rest your arm. And there's also a bit on the door with some stitching. It just gives it a nice effect. You've also got this satin effect at the top that just lightens up the door as well. Side airbags and a grab handle as well. You also have electric windows and a decent sized door pocket where you could fit a bottle of water quite easily. Overall, the ZS is very good. It's very comfortable. Yes, it's faux leather and there's a lot of hard plastics, but for the price, I mean, you're talking just under 18,000 for this automatic version with the 3-cylinder GM engine. It's quite amazing, to be honest. You've got a decent infotainment system, storage, you can fit 4 people very comfortably, you've got Apple CarPlay, and just overall, it's a nice place to be. When it comes to the boot of the car, you can open it using the button on the key fob. Once open, you have 448 litres of space. Now that's a decent size for a boot. And you've also got this false floor. Now we've got a full-size spare wheel in there, so that means that we can't use the false floor. But if you take that out, then you've got a false floor, which is pretty cool. Now you've got split folding rear seats. They don't lay entirely flat, but that doesn't seem to matter because you've still got, I think it's 1,375 litres of space, which is pretty big for something the size of a crossover. Now it's a nice square space. Yes, there is a load lip, and as I mentioned, it doesn't lay entirely flat, but there's enough size for, say, a tip run or going on holiday. You could get a fair few suitcases in there. Rather large, really.
What's the MG ZS Auto like to drive? Well, the model we have here has a 1 litre 3-cylinder turbocharged engine with the automatic gearbox.
And that's from GM stock, isn't it?
Yes, it's very similar to what you would find in a Vauxhall Corsa 1 litre turbo.
Oh, something like our first review ever.
Yes, our first review. Cringe.
Yes, exactly. But in this, I think it copes very well. But that's it. I mean, a lot of these manufacturers have really got the hang now of developing 3-cylinder turbo engines, haven't they?
That's it. It's so well refined. The gears are very nicely ratioed, and it doesn't feel underpowered at all.
No, it doesn't. I mean, you kick down and it will rocket off. Yesterday
I had 4 people in here, and considering the size of the vehicle as well, you'd have thought with a 1 litre it's going to be sluggish.
Yeah.
And it really isn't.
No, it's amazing, isn't it? It's because I thought, because of its size and it being an SUV and the high ride height, I mean, there's quite a bit of weight behind this car, but it doesn't struggle at all.
It's able to handle motorway speeds absolutely fine as well. You know, once you get out of the town, like I've driven this car well over 4 hours today.
Yeah.
And done what, about 200 miles.
Exactly.
And I'm still comfortable.
Yeah.
It's, you know, it's quiet in here. It's refined.
It is. It's another pheasant.
Things are out to get us today.
What I've noticed as well is it's not overly wallowy either, is it? I mean, yes, if you floor it into a corner, you will feel a bit of body roll.
Yeah.
But generally, it's good. And you can tighten up the steering as well, can't you? Because you've got your steering modes through the infotainment: urban, normal, and dynamic.
That's it. It makes a difference. Like, it wakens up, and well, if you want to go for a more spirited drive. Like, I find this car really fun on a back lane.
I do.
The steering's got a nice weight to it and has a very good sense of direction. The ride, you do notice the odd pothole.
Yeah.
But it, you know, the trade-off is that when you get to a corner, it still holds it together very well.
Oh yeah, it does.
We have also got all-round disc brakes as well, so braking really isn't a problem.
No, and you've got an old-school handbrake with hill start assist as well.
I'm very impressed with the gearbox. The ratios are nice and the shifts don't take a large amount of time, and you do have the sport mode if you're feeling particularly boisterous.
Exactly. Because that's what I noticed about it as well. I mean, just driving it up and down the shore then, it's a lot more punchy than you'd give it credit for.
Yeah. This overall package is absolutely outstanding for the money.
It's very responsive. That's what I've noticed most about this. You know, certain autos, certain manufacturers, you know, you kick down and you'll get hesitation.
Yeah.
There's nothing. That's the thing about this. People say, oh, it's all hard plastics. No, it's not. You've got soft touch plastics on the dash with stitching, and then when you go to the door cards, you've actually got a padded area with this faux leather. And that's it. Other cars at a higher price bracket have way less than this. Way less.
We've got Apple CarPlay, automatic lights, cruise control.
I mean, I like this infotainment screen.
Yeah.
It's very intuitive, it's very functional, it's very easy to use. You can, you know, operate some of the settings in the car, and I do like this background picture as well. It just gives it something.
One downfall to the automatic is economy. Yeah, we've been getting, what, 34, 35 to a gallon.
Yes.
But we haven't had a sort of proper long haul run to fully test the economy, and that's been,
I think it'd be around 39.
Yeah, that's with my daily driving yesterday and going to the shops, that sort of thing, and driving up here today. All round visibility is very good. There's no blind spots to speak of.
No.
The dials are nice and clear.
Decent big mirrors.
It's easy to manoeuvre, especially because you have the steering mode, so it can lighten up in urban mode. Yeah. We've also got a reversing camera. Whee! Like, even that, it handles it very well.
Yeah. I mean, listen to that.
30, 40, 45, 50.
Yeah.
You know, it's not slow.
No, it's not.
It doesn't struggle with traction either. It handles its power very well.
No, it can put power down considering its high ride height.
That was at, what, 50 miles an hour around a sweeping bend?
Yeah, and it cornered very well, didn't it?
It doesn't sort of twitch or anything. It is very well planted.
It is. But it's been developed on UK roads, hasn't it?
Well, that's it. I tell you what, the manual shift on the gearbox isn't as, you know, it's actually got decent time to it. It doesn't take 3 days to change.
Oh no, I think it's a very good setup. It copes with dynamic driving as well as driving through villages. It just potters along. It's very adaptable, isn't it? For adults and plants and things in the boot is absolutely no problem, is it?
That was it, and it coped with it very well.
If you're interested in seeing how the 1.5 handles and drives, check out the review. It'll be right at the end in one of the little thumbnails.
Overall, the MG ZS Auto, I think it provides a very good blend of engaging drive whilst also being comfortable and convenient and easy to use.
Well, realistically, we both fell in love with this when we went to the launch, didn't we?
Yes, we did, and it's still as good as I remember.
Exactly, yeah.
What's our verdict of the MG ZS?
Well, as you can see by the fact it's caked in mud, we've decided to take it a little more, well, in a terrain that it's not really used to. We took it off-roading, and it's coped very well, hasn't it?
Well, that's it, considering it's front-wheel drive, a 1 litre turbo 3-cylinder and an automatic.
Yeah.
You really wouldn't expect it to be this capable.
But it does have a high ride height, and that makes all the difference. So, yeah. Okay, you can't go green laning in it, obviously, but it's rather cool. It's also got, well, it's comfortable. It's got quite a bit of room. Just under 18,000 this model, isn't it?
Yes, and you've got Apple CarPlay, automatic lights, reversing camera and steering modes.
Yeah, it's very well kitted out, isn't it? I mean, the range starts at, is it just over 12.5?
It's just under 12.5.
See, that is a bargain. I mean, you get the 1.5 for that, so you can get the 1.5 and you get the 1 litre. You can only get 2-wheel drives, and well, basically that means there is no 4-wheel drive option. But we're sure we saw one in Thailand at some point. But as Michael and I were discussing before, it's there's a lot of ranges, isn't it, across the world?
That's it. It depends where you are in the world.
Yes.
But in the UK, at least, this top of the range 1 litre auto, at just under £18,000 is great value for money.
It certainly is, and it delivers around 35 mpg on an eco run. You'd be
could
looking
get a
at,
few more.
yeah, probably about 38 we're thinking.
Overall, the MG ZS is a great all-rounder, and it's very affordable.
It's very comfortable as well. I mean, you've got hard plastics, of course, but you've got tech, and I think it's got some good looks as well.
I do as well. It's the start of MG again. Don't forget, if you want to see our review of the 1.5 litre petrol manual ZS, then click the thumbnail that appears at the end of this video.
Good idea.
For more great impartial car reviews, please subscribe to Planet Auto. If you have any questions about the ZS, then leave it in the comments section below.
Thank you.